For this project, we have decided to turn the board game Guess Who into Guess My Job. Let me briefly talk about how the game works. First, each player draws 3 job cards, which will be the ones other players will be guessing. Then each player will take turns asking a player of selection a yes or no question. After asking a question, they will have to make a guess. And if a given player guesses incorrectly, he will have to give up 1 occupation card, which means he will be a step closer to losing the game. If no one guesses correctly, they will have to roll the dice, and the player who rolled the highest number can get a chance card. And this process loops until all other players' occupations have been guessed correctly. To dig a little deeper, here are the occupations we have. We have actor, engineer, writer, waiter, driver, animator, etc. And here is the chance card. We have you may lie in the next round, you must sacrifice a card, meaning you'll be a step closer to losing the game. You can skip a turn, you can make a guess without any consequences. And finally, there is one that requires you to share a specific description of one of your job cards. My contribution basically are divided into 2 parts. One is the PowerPoint creation and the other part is playtesting. For the PowerPoint, I built the page which explains the gameplay, the game rules and the key game loops. Gameplay is about how the game works, including the actions each player has to take each turn, what they have to do when certain events happen, the winning conditions, etc. Game rules are the rules that players have to play by. For instance, when no one guesses the occupation correctly, everyone has to roll the dice and they do not have a chance to opt out. Another rule is that they have to make a guess starting from round 3 so the game can proceed. The last part was the key game loops, where it displays the continuous process of the game. Our key game loop is players asking questions, then they will guess other players' occupations. Then if no guesses are correct, they will have to roll the dice and draw a card, and they will go back to asking questions. So this loop will continue until the last man standing. And for the playtesting, I raised an important question during the playtesting, which is about whether we should focus on encouraging players to ask a meaningful question or encouraging players to make their best effort to disclose as little information about their job as possible. I then did research on the original Guess Who game and the benefits of both play methods. Eventually, I found out that encouraging players to ask complicated questions can develop their reasoning skills and ability to effectively eliminate possibilities. Players can also learn more about different occupations and encourage them to search for different jobs in order to perform better in the game, and thus they will have a deeper understanding of what jobs are available in the market, and so that they can plan their career path accordingly. I pointed this out during our discussion in the playtesting, and we decided to shape our board game into encouraging players to ask good questions instead. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.